Hey everybody, welcome to part 1 of our How to Create SkaterXL Mods video series. In this video, we're going to go ahead and start with how to create decks for SkaterXL. Let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so for part 1 I want to cover decks. I want to try to keep it short and simple. I'm going to have a video for grip tape, for wheels, for sweatshirts, etc. Want to keep them all short. So let me go ahead and move my screen here. So what I wanted to cover in this video was just a few things. First one is creating a template that you can use forever for any deck that you want to make. Downloading and creating decks from the internet. Changing colors of the plies. You know, as we all know, when you buy a skateboard, sometimes the top is one color and there's a ply that's a different color on the sides, or you can buy a dipped boards. So we're gonna go ahead and show you how to do that. How to create your own deck, which means taking a picture of your board, maybe taking the trucks off it, getting a nice high quality picture, and then putting your deck that you're currently riding in the game. And last, we'll go over adding a custom design to a deck. Maybe you have a cool logo or some artwork that you want to put on a board. We're going to show you how to do that too. So let me go ahead and get our photo editing program open. Now I'm using Photoshop for this tutorial, but there's lots of other good photo editing programs out there that you can use. I believe there's free ones. I'll put a link in the description to one of those. I can't remember off the top of my head. I know there's a really good free one out there that you can use, and all the fundamentals are the same. So we'll start with creating our template. So what I'm going to do is, I have some boards here I downloaded from the mod website, Origin Skateboards for SkaterXL, created by Decimus_6. The reason I want to use these is because, let me move my screen here. As you can see, the plies are just wood color, which is really nice. So that means we can make them any color we want. So we're gonna go ahead and use those. Kind of a good baseline for what we're gonna be trying to accomplish here. So let's create our template. So I'm gonna go ahead and open up one of these Origin boards. Let me go to my gear folder. I got both folders open here. Okay, we'll just open up a random deck. Open with Photoshop. Alright, so we have this Origin board here. What we really just need is the shape of the board and the blank wood colored plies. I also like these because they kind of are scuffed up a little bit on the sides, gives it a realistic look. So what we'll do to create our template first is grab our magic wand tool in Photoshop. It's up here to the left, and we're just going to select the background. The checkers means that this is a transparent background. It's a .png file, so the background is completely transparent. After we have the background selected, we'll go ahead and hit this little camera icon. This is basically another way of looking at what's selected. And we're going to get our eraser and erase the red up top here. Then we'll hit the camera icon again, and then we'll go to select inverse. Now only the deck is selected in the picture. So what we want to do is just go ahead and paint over it and make it a solid color. I'm going to make it black just so we have some good contrast. Okay, hit select, deselect, and our template's done. That's all we got to do. So we're going to go ahead and save this as a PSD file, which is a Photoshop working file. Okay, let me find my folder. Created a new folder for this video. Working files for vid, okay. Deck template. And we'll change this to a PSD file. And save. There we go. So we have our template. We can use this forever for any deck we want to make. The website I like to use whenever I'm finding decks from the internet, I mean, you could go to the manufacturer's website. You can go, like, if you want to make a primitive deck, you can go to the primitive website, download them from there. If you want a flip or a baker board, you can go to the website and download them from there. I like to go to CCS and browse around because they have a nice selection of boards. I don't see a lot of chocolate decks in the game so far, so I'm going to go ahead and make one of those for this video. Now, just a quick little trick for getting these images off this website. We'll go ahead and make this blue one here. Now, when you go to ccs.com, if you want to try to download a picture from this website, you can't just like right click and save this image. So what you got to do is right click and go to view page source, and then you should be able to scroll down and find the image of the board. It's just being pulled in from the code. It's sitting on their server somewhere. There it is. So we'll go ahead and click this. There we go. There's our nice high resolution picture of our board. So let's go ahead and save it. Do chocolate deck. Okay, now that's a JPEG. Let me go ahead and open that up in Photoshop. Okay, so there's our board. So we'll go ahead and turn it counterclockwise. We'll click image and then image rotation and then 90 degrees counterclockwise. Let's go ahead and pull it away. And then we're gonna double click the layer and hit OK. Get our magic wand tool, select the background and hit delete. Select, deselect. So this process is pretty easy. All we want to do is take this little arrow tool up in the top right, click our board that we just downloaded and drag it over to our template. Then we'll do Control T, which is the free transform tool. Hold Shift and grab one of the corners and we can resize it. Now this image is a little smaller than our template, but I haven't noticed any loss of quality or anything like that whenever you look at the board in the game, so these images are fine to use. You just don't want to use too small of an image. So we basically just want to line it up end to end here. And just so we can see how much bigger this board is than the template, let's just go ahead and turn the opacity down a little bit. It's not too bad. Now, since we know this template works really good in the game, I looked at all those origin boards, they look great. We just want to shave off a little bit of the sides of the deck. So we're going to go to our template layer, we're going to select our magic wand, and then we'll select that background again. Then we'll grab our eraser tool, and we will select our chocolate deck layer. And we'll just go ahead and scan right across the board, and it'll clean up the edges. Then we'll go to deselect, and the deck itself is done. Now let's say you want to change the plies, like some boards when you buy them, the top ply is red or green or purple, and you can see that color around the edge of the board on the grip tape. Let's say we want to do red for this. What we'll do is take our paintbrush tool and we'll pick a nice deep saturated red color. The reason we want it really bright is because we're going to turn the opacity down on it so that we can still see the wood pattern underneath right here. So we'll get a nice bright red. Then we'll make our brush about the same size as the top ply there. It's pretty small. And then we'll select right off screen and then hold Shift and then just go right across. Actually, I'm gonna do that again. I forgot to make a new layer. So what we wanna do is make a new layer, then do the same thing. There we go. Now we can move that around. We don't want it to be part of the actual layer that we were working with there. Okay, so now we'll just turn the opacity down so that it kind of blends in with what we're trying to do. There we go. And let's go ahead and make another different colored ply. Let's make a blue one. We'll make this one right here blue. There we go, and the opacity is already turned down. That looks cool. So this chocolate board is done. We just downloaded a picture from the internet, changed the color of the plies, used our template, and we'll go ahead and save this into our documents and gear folder for SkaterXL. This PC, documents, SkaterXL, gear, then I have a folder for all my custom mods that I make. And we'll just click one and change the last part of it. Chocolate deck. We'll look at all these decks in the game at the end of the video. Alright, so that's done. So what we'll do is close. I guess we could save this in case we want to change anything. We'll make it chocolate board. Okay, and then we'll close it. You know what? I realized I forgot something. We want to get rid of these truck holes. I forgot to show you that. Let's do that right now. We just opened our PSD working file back up. We want to get rid of these truck holes. Sometimes they don't line up. It depends what you use as your template and how big it is and stuff like that. So we're just going to get rid of them so that they're not showing or anything. So what we want to do for that is go to our chocolate layer, and then we'll select our clone stamp tool over here. Kind of looks like a little stamper. And what this tool does is you select an area that you want to replicate to another area. So we're just going to select right next to the holes, and we're going to hit Alt and select that area, and then we'll just go over to the hole here and click it, and it's gone. So we're going to do that to all of them real quick. Okay, so now the holes are gone. Almost forgot about that part. Now we'll go ahead and save this off again. There it is, and we can just save over the one we already made. Also, make sure that when you're saving it into your gear folder, it's a .png file with a transparent background. Let me show you that again real quick. Here's our options: ping 24 with transparency. That's what we want to use. All right, let's go ahead and save that. Now let's move on to creating our board. Okay, let's open our template back up. Now I'm gonna go ahead and open up the image of my board that I was talking about. Open. And you'll see, again, you'll see that the fundamentals are basically the same, but there's just a small difference. Okay, there's a picture of my deck. It's not a perfect picture. You can tell that I wasn't directly over the center of it when I took it, but I've already created it once and it turned out really good, so we're just gonna kind of do the same thing. Okay, for this one, image rotation. I think I did counterclockwise last time, or clockwise last time, and that turned out good, so we'll do that again. Okay, we'll double click our layer. Now all we want to do here is just grab the whole thing and throw it on our template. And then we're going to turn the opacity down on it to about 50%. The reason we do that is so we can line it up and see what's going on. So you can see our board, and we can see the template. And we want to make sure the nose and the tail line up. Okay, that looks good. We'll go ahead and slide it up. Now, sometimes, you know, the edges might get cut off. My board's a little wider than the board in the template. You can always do a free transform and kind of squeeze it down a little bit just to make it a little skinnier. Shouldn't make too much of a difference. That's what I'll do this time. Okay. Then we'll turn our opacity back up. And we're going to do the same thing we did on the previous board. We're going to go to our template layer. We're going to select the background. Then we're going to get our eraser, and we'll just go ahead and erase what's left. Make sure you select the layer of your picture here. Okay, deselect. We're all good. I know that on my board, my top ply is like a dark purple color, so I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick. I'm going to make a new layer. I'm going to pick a dark purplish color. Then I will go ahead and make my line across the top. Hold shift, just go across. And then turn the opacity down to about 50%. There we go. All right, that one's done. Oh, almost forgot something. These really ugly truck marks. That's the one thing when you're taking your trucks off your board and you're making your own board in here, you gotta make sure you get rid of these. So we're gonna use the clone stamp again. So same fundamentals, just depends on your deck. It might be a little more difficult depending on what your graphic looks like, but you know, maybe in a future video, I do plan on doing some more advanced techniques on how to fix stuff like that. Like maybe your board has tons of different colors and graphics all over it and you want to get rid of those holes, and it's not going to be as easy as this one. This one's pretty easy because I have these lines. I can just replicate these lines. So we'll go over that in a future video. Let me go ahead and hit a quick time lapse of me getting these out of here. All right, there it is. Got our truck marks and our truck holes gone. So now we can go ahead and save this one off. Save for web, ping 24, transparency. I already did this twice, so I'm just gonna save over the last one I did. Place, here we go. All right, so we've done 2 decks in a very short amount of time. So the last thing I'm going to show you is how to take custom artwork and put it on the decks. And again, the fundamentals are basically the same, but I just want to make sure we cover all our bases here. So I'm going to close this. I don't need this. I'm going to reopen my template. Oops. There we go. Alright, so I have a logo already made that I made a while ago. It's kind of like my logo for all my social media accounts and stuff like that. I'm gonna put that on my board. But I'm just gonna add some custom colors to the deck real quick to put the logo on top of. This is probably a pretty primitive way of doing this. You know, Photoshop experts are gonna be like, there's such easier ways to do that. But I kind of like doing things my own way. So I'm gonna select the background and then I'll do select inverse. And again, this will select just the board. And if we want, we can go ahead and hit this little camera icon and just paint over the top part here too, because it didn't select it. There we go. Now we got just our board selected. So we can paint. I'll show you what this does. I mean, we can paint inside the board and do whatever we want. It's not going to affect anything else. That's why we do that. So I'm going to go ahead and pick a good base color. Let's do like a deep blue. Go over it. Then we'll pick a lighter blue. We'll make a little gradient. We're going to go to a different brush. I'm going to use this type of brush. This basically kind of, as you can see, it makes it kind of like fuzzy on the sides. So I'm gonna make it real big, and I'm just gonna tap the top of the board a couple times. There we go. We've got a good little gradient here. Okay, we'll go to select, deselect. We have our background for our image. And now I will go ahead and open up my logo. You guys are probably gonna laugh when you see this. Where is it? T-stuff. There it is. Yeah, it's a bit ridiculous. All right, we'll go ahead and turn it counterclockwise. Image rotation counterclockwise. Oops, wrong way. There we go. All right, so this is already a ping. It already has a transparent background and everything. So we'll just go ahead and move it over. That's actually a perfect size. I don't think I'm gonna resize that. I'll just kind of nudge it around, make sure it's in the middle. Now, be mindful of, if you're gonna put a graphic on the board here, you don't wanna put like, you know, let's say my eyes. I don't wanna put my eyes where my trucks are gonna be. So I like, when I make my custom boards, I like to put my graphic like right in the middle and just use colors for the two ends. It's just the way I like to do it. But, you know, using these techniques, you can do whatever you want. Make whatever you want, you know, play around, learn, tinker. That's what I like to do. So we're gonna go ahead and cut off the sides here. We're gonna do the same thing we've been doing. I'm gonna go to the original layer, select the background, and then go to my eraser tool and go back to my logo and just erase the sides off it. Okay, select, deselect. Now, if you want, you can put some text, you know, anything you want on here. You can add another image. We could slap some stickers on it. Let's do that. Let's throw a sticker on it. I got all kinds of stickers. Let's just grab an independent logo. Wow, perfect. That's already transparent. What I'll do real quick is just give it a little bit of a background. I'm going to select the area on the inside here and grab a color, grab white, and we'll paint the inside white. There we go. Select deselect. We'll move our independent sticker over, throw it right here, or we'll throw it down here. Then we'll do select, reselect, eraser, cut the edges off. Select, deselect. Here we go. Let's add some custom colors to our plies. Let's do blue this time, like a baby blue, light blue. Grab a deep royal blue here. Get our paintbrush, make it nice and small, and we gotta switch back to the brush we were using, the solid brush. Click, shift, go across, turn the opacity down. There we go. All right, let's go ahead and save that off. Name this tutorial. So that's pretty much it, guys. I mean, we showed you 3 different ways to make boards using these fundamentals. If you have Photoshop or whatever photo editor you're using, you know, give it a try. Start basic, start working your way up to something more complicated. It's really fun making these mods. All right, but before we end the video, let's go ahead and look at our work. Let's check it out, see what it looks like in the game. Character. All right, so let's look at there's my deck that I made already, but let's look at the one we made today. Pretty similar. I actually made this one the correct orientation. Here's the other deck we made. So you can see the purple ply up top. I really like the way that looks. Make custom colored plies, do it. It looks really good. Gives your board some depth. Okay, there's that one, there's this one, and what else did we make? Oh yeah, we took a deck from the internet. Oh, there it is, there's our chocolate deck. There's our red ply on top. Looks awesome. Turned out perfect. And you can't see any of the truck holes or anything. So, that's it, guys. I do Twitch streams every week where, look, if you don't feel like learning this stuff and you'd just like somebody to create some mods for you, that's what my Twitch stream is for. I usually do 2 hours, and I will take requests from users in the chat for different types of boards they want. Lately I've been trying to get people to send me their decks so I can put their board in the game and send it back to them. I have an email address I put up on the screen for anybody who joins so they can send me images and I can send them back. So if that sounds interesting to you, I'll put the link in the description to my Twitch channel. Go ahead and give me a follow on there and you'll be able to see when I'm going live, and if you have some cool ideas for some boards, join the stream and let's make it happen. If you like this video and you want to get notified when part 2, part 3 and all that go live, consider subscribing and clicking that notification button thing. You guys know how YouTube works. I don't have to explain it to you. But yeah, if you found this helpful, tune in for the next video. Part 2 will be covering grip tape. So appreciate you guys. See ya.